So I wanted to watch this.
Hello my friends. My name is Bot Mathematician, and this is Holomancer.
Also welcome the daring reporter Dora.
We are infinitely grateful that we have another opportunity to see you all again.
Today we will talk about the phenomenon of Marvel Snap, which is the baby brother of Hearthstone.
The new game is the most brazen on the market, and allows itself to use most manipulative methods of monetization.
The father of these two projects is Ben Brode. We got the impression that a cynical entrepreneur is hiding behind the mask of a cheerful developer.
So, who is Ben Brode?
Ben is not just a game designer, he is one of the fathers of Hearthstone. Early in development, Ben and Eric Dodds created the core of Hearthstone together. The game revolutionized the collectible card game industry and
I'm going to guess where this video is going. They're going to say that Hearthstone got a lot cheaper after Ben left Hearthstone, and Marvel Snap has predatory economics, which I guess is kind of true-ish, right? I'm guessing, but we'll see.
and introduced this unusual genre to a huge number of players.
The affable Brode has always been the public face of Hearthstone. He has been a game director since 2016. Uncontrollable laughter and plaid shirts have become his calling card.
Your laugh is amazing. No, your laugh slaughters my laugh. I thought I was finally really great at something, but no.
It's true. He does
Ben
have a good
paid
laugh.
great attention to communicating with the audience, gave interviews and took part in streams, but most importantly, he was always ready for a feat. When players didn't find the traditional song in the Journey to Ngoro cinematic trailer, he performed his iconic rap to smooth over the disappointment.
Hey there, don't be scared, my name is Ben Brode. I read a thread on Reddit and it said that I should sing an ode.
Ben was an integral part of Hearthstone, and was very much loved by the community.
In 2018, Brode announced his departure from Blizzard. For the players it was really a tragedy. Later, he created his own game studio Second Dinner.
I think Ben was great. 2018, when did Ben leave? What expansion was that? Right before Witchwood? So right before it got bad. Witchwood, it was Witchwood, then Boobsday, then Rastakon's Rise of Shadows. So he did Ungoro, Knights, and Kobolds. And then rotation happened and Witchwood came in. So he was there for the best era, in my opinion. And then he left to make Snap, which took, I think, 5 years, right? Ben wasn't hated at all. No, not at all. Everyone loved Ben. Everyone's always like, Ben was the face of Hearthstone. Even though, you know, he wasn't there for 5 years, he kind of still is the face of Hearthstone, I feel like. Even though he's not there, he works for, you know, Second Dinner.
And gradually poached the main members of the Hearthstone team.
Some players speculated that Blizzard was limiting his freedom of action and he no longer wanted to depend on the gaming giants. But it looks like the Second Dinner crew sold their soul to another devil. After some time, it was announced that the new studio had received a Marvel license and $30 million from NetEase to create a new card game.
Most of the famous developers have already left Blizzard to pursue their own game projects without the negative influence of cynical executives, but how many new successful projects have been born? Managing the development process is a real challenge that can confirm or refute the talent of developers. So did Ben pass this test?
But before we continue, I want to thank our new patron, Oleg Zuev. Dear friend, thank you for joining the team of mathematicians. And special thanks to our permanent patrons for their reliable support.
Guys, this video wouldn't exist without your help.
We also want to thank our new subscribers. Dear friends, thanks to you our community is getting bigger. You also have a chance to get into this list if you subscribe.
The voices are AI, yeah. So this is a really popular Hearthstone channel. They do great videos. They have fantastic editing. The voices are all AI. Snap is owned by, who are they owned? They're owned by the same people who own TikTok, right? I believe. So they're not owned by Tencent, which Activision Blizzard is, I think, by ByteDance. Okay, yeah. So it's like, it's a really big company still.
Subscribe to our channel. But as far as I know, there is only one technical condition. On your channel page, the subscription section should not be hidden. This is the only way we can see your nickname.
Marvel Snap made a bold entry into the industry a few months ago. The game does not
Newverse, right? Newverse is owned by TikTok or something. There's some relation there.
care about the well-established rules. Snap has its own unique strategy. Judge for yourself. While most of the
ByteDance,
card
there you go.
games that came out after the success of Hearthstone attracted players with complex gameplay and a loyal progression system, Brode's new game offers casual gameplay with an incredibly expensive economy.
The game did not impress me with its visual style and animations. To my taste, it looks like a good mobile indie game from a small studio, nothing more. But the strengths of the game are different. Marvel's Snap consists of 2 ingenious features. The first one is the gameplay. Everything is very simple and intuitive. In each battle, you will be offered 3 random locations. You should get more points on 2 of them, using cards featuring iconic Marvel heroes. Each location has unique effects. The gameplay is very dynamic and perfectly adapted to the mobile platform. It is no accident that Snap won Best Mobile Game at the Game Awards. At the same time, the game does not claim to be an esports discipline. Marvel's Snap is just a mobile game without huge ambitions and plans.
The second brilliant feature is monetization. We have never seen such a terrible progression system in modern collectible card games, and yes, it is cheeky, brazen and ingenious at the same time. This is a kind of copy of Diablo Immortal, in the genre of collectible card games but without years of development and premium visuals.
Unlike Hearthstone, Marvel Snap has a very complex structure with different currencies.
Dude, they're reaching so hard. What the heck? How is this like Diablo at all? They are so biased. They're so biased. I enjoyed Hearthstone. I think it's not as fun as it used to be. I think a lot of people who end up trying Snap, who used to play Hearthstone, start liking Snap a little bit. You could just see this. Yeah, this is just very biased. This is really biased, and I disagree. I mean, people are entitled to their own opinions, sure, but they're wrong.
Factors and element. We will try to describe it as simply as possible in general terms.
In order to receive new cards, you must gradually climb the endless collection level road. Improving the visual appearance of cards will
Sentry, did you guys see that? I love Sentry.
increase your level. For this you need 2 resources, credits and boosters. Credits are a strictly limited resource that players receive as a reward for completing
Busters. There are a lot of currencies. I think it could be a bit overwhelming to start. There's a lot of information overload, I think. But, Hearthstone's got gold and dust. But we got credits and busters. So it's fine.
quests and activities, or can be purchased with money. Boosters are a kind of token, unique for each card. They can be obtained at the end of each match for 1 random card from your deck. The more games you take part in, the more boosters you get. Boosters, in the vast majority of cases, cannot be bought for money. After collecting enough boosters for a certain card in credits, you can begin to gradually improve level and give you the opportunity to receive various rewards, including chests, which may contain a random new card.
Why did the development team, having experience working on the economy of Hearthstone, come up with such a complex system?
In our opinion, this is done to deliberately manipulate the players, in order to instill in them a false sense of progress. If you spend a lot of time in the game, you will be able to collect an infinite number of boosters, which may seem like progress, although they are completely useless without credits. The limited number of credits will not allow you to progress too fast. But under these conditions, active players have much more reason to buy credits for real money in order to use their boosters. I spent about 3 months in the game, and I didn't even imagine how much the progress system was misleading me, until I did some rough calculations.
Climbing the collection level road, you will find chests that can hide new cards for your collection. But there is one very big catch. All cards in chests are divided into 5 different pools by rarity. In the beginning, you will collect random cards from the first pool fairly quickly, and only after getting all of them, you can move on to collecting cards from the second series, which will take you a little longer. After completing the collection, you will be able to find cards from other pools in the chests, but the chests will no longer contain a guaranteed card.
For example, the chance of getting a card from the third
So let me go back here a little bit. This is the main complaint, which I think a lot of people have, which they're working on, is that it's hard to get your collection growing, right? Without like buying credits. I kind of max spend every day, so I'm a whale. But progressing through pool 1, pool 2, and I think like the beginning of pool 3 is all really fun. But there's like this mid pool 3 lull, which it takes forever. And I've had a lot of people message me being like, hey, I was having fun with Snap, and then I got to mid pool 3 and it took me too long to get cards and I quit. It's like, if you don't get Arrow, if Arrow's at the end of pool 3, It sucks. It's hard. After CL 1000, it's bad. Yeah. I think they're working on that, right? Which is good. And I think one of the best things about Second Dinner is it's very obvious that they do listen and try and improve on things. I think they recently said they're going to work on, they're not happy with matchmaking, so they're working on that. That's really nice. That you don't get that from a lot of companies. Great communication, and they listen to us. The monetization was bad, but I think it's even getting better. I'm surprised cards are moving from Series 5 to 4 to 3 so quickly. I think that's fantastic. I thought it would be like a quarterly thing, but the fact that they're doing it every month is pretty dang nice. You didn't get Arrow till 3,000 collection level? Yeah, that's rough because Arrow's the best card. Now, you can buy it with collector's tokens, which hopefully they'll go over here. But those are hard to come by. But they're also implementing cheaper bundles now, right? Instead of having to pay $100 like it was in the past, now they have like these $5, these $10, these $20 bundles that are fantastic value. And you don't have to buy variants. People don't need to buy those. Those are just cosmetics, So the game is obviously getting much better relatively quickly. Arrow was your first card. That is pretty lucky, yeah. 2,000 plus got every top tier pool 3 card. Yeah, it's random. I almost wish you could choose. I think that'd be better. Or almost instead of unlocking a random card, sometimes you just unlock 1,000 tokens. I don't know. These are just off the top of my head. I haven't really thought about
Pools in the chests, but the chests will no longer contain a guaranteed card.
For example, the chance of getting a card from the third pool will be 47%, but will subsequently be reduced to 22%. The chance of getting a card from the fourth pool will be 2.5%, and the chance of getting a card from the fifth pool is only 0.25%. These are the rarest cards. Moreover, the pity timer does not work for them.
Every week, one new card is added to the game that has the maximum rarity, and the
Oh yeah, I'm excited for these. So they do have a battle pass or season pass, whatever you want to call it. I think that's great value, right? I think most people are happy with it. It's not too crazy to spend, $10 a month on a game. Hearthstone is way more than that. And a lot of mobile games cost more than that. So it depends on how much you pay or how much you play the game, but generally you get your value worth of, or your value back. So Hearthstone, how much? I was spending $200-$300 per expansion, which there's 3 a year. They'd be in April, August, and December. So I was spending around $1,200. I spend a lot more on Snap. I do. But that's also because I buy a lot of variants, and I'm max spending when I don't need to.
minimum chance of getting in the fifth pool. Every month, cards are downgraded from Series 5 to 4, and then 4 to 3, making
nice.
room for new cards.
There are almost no crafting tools in the game, but you can use special tokens that can be found in the chest. Every day a new offer appears in the store with one random card that you don't have yet. If you have enough tokens you can purchase it. This is the easiest way to get high rarity cards.
What does this mean for free-to-play players? Dear friends, we have a very bad conclusion. The economy of this game is a real hell for you, especially if your goal is to get the entire collection of cards. Over time, you will collect all the cards of Series 3 and 4, but the fifth pool will always be closed to you. Imagine that the developers add only legendary cards to the game, which will be in early access for several months, mainly only for premium players. Without significant investment, the chance of access to them will be incredibly small. You will be able to get them only after a few months, when they change their...
It is so biased, though. I want to know how much these people spend on Hearthstone every year, right? They probably spend over $100 an expansion. I feel like Hearthstone is not very free-to-play friendly either. It has gotten better. There is like duplicate protection. They do have a lot more bundles now, but it's still an expensive game. Snap is more expensive if you're max buying and stuff like that, but if you're just getting the season pass, it's cheaper. It's not good free to play unless you're an arena god. That's true. That definitely helps. Being an arena god helps a lot. But I don't know, man. When I first started playing Snap, I thought it looked so stupid, right? I was like, this game looks dumb. I'm Hearthstone forever. And then I played it one day, and it was so fun. The progression, unlocking new cards, making my own decks. Oh, I just got Venom, got to try and make a Venom deck and stuff like that. It was really enjoyable. I didn't spend a dime on the game until I put like 50 hours in. Like just getting 50 hours from a game for free is such good value. Like, I don't know, you buy a AAA title, they're $60 now, right? So those are probably 50 hours long. So you could just play it until it's not fun for you, I guess, if you don't want to spend a dime. But it's still, like, I got 50 hours of entertainment.
Rarity and become epic. But by that time, new broken cards will be released, which will be available only to premium players. There can be no talk of a fair competitive environment.
Of course, you probably won't need all the cards from the 5th pool, but this approach is extremely manipulative. Cards are added to the game weekly. Your favorite content creators are already experimenting with new cards in their decks, but you are not allowed access to them, especially if you are a free-to-play player. Moreover, the rarity system and the lack of crafting tools will severely limit the variety and effectiveness of decks available to you.
So this is the main problem I get that a lot of content creators feel, because, I mean, it makes sense. Content creators get tax write-offs to buy the things. We get the new cards more often than most people. Like, I have Stature, you know, I have Galactus and Thanos and Kang, and most people are not going to get that for a long time. So the problem is, I release a video that has Kang in it, and people are like, oh, you know, I'm never going to be able to play this. Why don't you make a video on a deck that I can play? And it's like, I don't know what people have. Everyone's collections are unique. So that's kind of like the main problem for me from the content creator's perspective with the pools. So I wish they would sometimes introduce new cards that weren't like Series 5. Maybe they just introduce a new Pool 3 every month, a new Pool 4 every month. I think that'd be cool. Like, for example, Ghost. I paid 6,000 tokens for Ghost. I didn't even make a video out of Ghost. Ghost was so bad. But what if they just put Ghost into Pool 3? They'd make less money. That's why they're not doing it. But put in Pool 4 or Series 4, sorry, and then it drop down or something like that. Use tokens on Torch? Oh, that's rough. Ghost will be better in the future. I think that's true, yeah.
This leads to the fact that very often you will not have one key card to try something new.
Things are much better for premium players, but only if they are willing to pay a lot of money. Here are some very rough calculations. For example, if you are willing to invest $100 to buy credits, this will only allow you to get on average 4 cards from the 3rd series. Of course, this is only if you have enough boosters. In other words, you may be forced to grind. Free-to-play players will need approximately 2 weeks to receive this reward. If you want to get enough tokens to buy 1 card from the 5th series, then you will have to invest about $300, while free-to-play players will need to spend a month and a half, provided that they have already collected all the cards of the 3rd.
You can do it free to play, right? It just takes a long time. And seeing other people play with their shiny new toys when you're just free to play is kind of frustrating. But you can do it free to play. It's just like, if you end up losing to Arrow and you don't have Arrow, it's incredibly frustrating. Incredibly. Are they trying to argue that you shouldn't be allowed to get more out of a game if you spend money on it? Yeah, pretty much. They have to make money, right? So they can keep the game going. I think they're making way more money than they had anticipated. They do have deep pockets, I'm sure. They got the Marvel IP behind them. So I'm sure if investors see that, oh, Snap's doing well, they can continue funding them, right? And maybe they can cut back on some monetization. I think a lot of variants are probably making them a lot of money. I imagine just the Peach, Momoko Peach, whatever variant bundle thing probably got them probably upwards of $1 million. Just guessing.
3rd pool. During this time, 6 new cards will be added to the 5th pool. This approach leads to direct discrimination against the not rich and free-to-play players.
But that's not enough for Ben Brode. Marvel Snap contains pay-to-win elements. Every month, the developers offer players to buy a battle pass for $10, which allows...
Doesn't Hearthstone have a battle pass too for like battlegrounds and everything? I get this is monthly, but you also do get stuff every month. So I don't remember how much the battlegrounds battle pass is. I never bought it. And I don't remember if that's monthly. And the Hearthstone battle pass is super pay to win, which, I mean, Zabu, Silver Surfer, those were kind of pay to win, sure. MODOK, less so. But I think in Battlegrounds, you get a random pool of characters to choose from. And if you pay money, I think you get 4 options, or is it 3 options? And if you don't pay money, you only get 1 option. It's like very blatantly pay to win. Whereas with this, you could maybe squeak by with a different deck. 2 options versus 4. Okay.
Premium players to get exclusive access to 1 new card. Very often this card is broken and defines the metagame. During the month, this card cannot be obtained in any
Is a card very often broken? It was Zabu and Silver Surfer. All the months before that were not great, right? I don't think Black Panther was like super important. Miles Morales was not super important. Nick Fury was not super important. MODOK is not a top tier deck, but very often.
Other way. This is another way to humiliate free-to-play players.
Wave.
The system is designed in such a way that you always have the opportunity to pay money. Even investing a huge amount of money won't get you any closer to having a complete collection as new rarer cards are released regularly.
Some time ago, Second Dinner posted the news about the nerfing of 2 broken cards from previous battle passes that players accessed for $10. Balance changes are a very important part of creating a healthy competitive environment, but Marvel Snap will not offer players any compensation.
Let's be honest, Hearthstone isn't a cheap game, and it also has its downsides. The Hearthstone team also
How many packs do you need in Hearthstone? Or they're $2 a pack, I think, right? I think it's $2 for a pack of cards in Hearthstone. Unless you get a big bundle and you get it cheaper. So 5 packs for $10? 20 packs is legendary? That's not true unless they've changed it. It's 40. The pity timer is 40. You're guaranteed 1 within your first 10 packs. And then after that, you're guaranteed 1 per 40 packs. Generally, ends up being better. But the pity timer is 40. So $10 for a legendary is actually kind of nuts, I'd say.
resorts to various manipulations, which is a normal practice for games as a service. But the Hearthstone economy has never contained tricks that can fool you. The economy of the game is very simple. Getting a collection of cards has always had a finite cost thanks to the pity timer. At the same time, the crafting system plays a huge role in reducing the cost.
I like we just talked about the pity timer there too. Hearthstone has a crafting system. It's true. It's true. There's crafting. So you can get rid of cards you don't like, but you lose most of their value, right? Like you can DE a legendary and get 400, or you can craft a legendary for 1600. Also, they implemented rune stones. I wonder if they're going to talk about rune stones.
Players don't need to grinding or complete difficult conditions to get 1 or 2 tier 1 decks for free. The only advantage a premium player can get over a free-to-play player is the ability to collect an entire collection of cards. In turn, free-to-play players can get a complete collection of useful cards without much effort. Moreover, Hearthstone will not deprive you of any benefit if you miss a few days in the game, and also will not force you to grind, since this process has little efficiency and is almost meaningless. But Marvel Snap has a very different philosophy. For effective progression, you must return to Marvel Snap twice a day, as daily quests appear several times throughout the day. Also, you must...
It's every 8 hours you get 2, right? So I think you can actually just do it every 24 hours. I don't know. I play multiple times a day. It's like really quick games. Hearthstone, you can be in a match for 20, 30 minutes, and it might be like win 3 games. That's a huge commitment. Marvel Snap, it might be draw 10 cards, and you can do that in 5 minutes. So it's a little bit different.
Must collect the daily login reward so as not to lose the benefit. And your game session should be long enough to complete all the tasks and get enough boosters. I can't believe these 2 games have the same parents. Blizzard are angels compared to the independent Second Dinner studio.
But the main paradox is that with all the shortcomings and features of the progression system, the game is extremely effective.
You can refresh missions in Hearthstone. That's true. But that's also because some missions are just ridiculous, right? Like you might win a Battlegrounds match or something like that. And it's like, I don't play Battlegrounds. So you got to refresh. Or win 3 arena matches. Or win with the Druid. With Snap, it's always very easy stuff. Draw cards, win a lane, which you can do even with losing the game. Play with a friend quest. Who has friends? I don't have friends to play with.
This blatantly greedy and discriminatory approach generates over $10 million a month, which...
This does make sense. They are making big dollars. Big dollars. Right? Also, yeah, Collins, the tokens are kind of similar to dust in a way. I guess you could think of it that way. Except you can't dust things, but you do get a currency to make cards with, kind of. Covering up the HS number? 1.8 million Hearthstone, 11 million Snap. I don't know where they got these numbers, but I'd say it makes sense. I always show this. I've shown this in the past. I think this is very interesting.
Disgusting!
It's kind of hard to see with the overlay I have, but this is US. The blue line is Marvel Snap on Google Trends. So here's Magic, Runeterra, Hearthstone, and Marvel Snap. This is over past 30 days US. So we can go worldwide. and you can see here what's happening. Here's 90 days, right? You put Gwent, what's that? I made a video for Gwent before. So yeah, you can see it's pretty healthy. And yeah, it's got the new game pizzazz, if you will, but let's even look at a year, which the game was not out. You could see it pop off here. I guess my camera's blocking. And then it's been healthy. It's been declining a little bit, sure, but so has Snap and everything else, really. And then you can even look further back. You can do past 5 years. All right. Hearthstone used to be nutty, man. Used to be nutty. But this was like early days of gaming online and whatnot. And then you could see Magic popped off here. These 3 spikes are Runeterra. Runeterra was so good, dude, when it first came out. And then they ended up like pulling the plug. They were like, okay, I hope you enjoyed the beta. We'll be back in like 3 months. And then no one ever came back to the game. I really wish they didn't do that. I wish they just launched the game. I was so into it here. I was just playing it. After I would end my Hearthstone streams, I would play Runeterra. But yeah, I saw, Hearthstone on a constant decline, which it's an old game, and this happens to games. And Snap is popping off. All right, anyway.
Which is about 5 times the revenue of Hearthstone on mobile platforms. Moreover, it is the most profitable card game in the market. And this is the main genius of this approach to...
Wait, what are these? Yu-Gi-Oh's doing better than Hearthstone? 2 Yu-Gi-Oh games are doing better than Hearthstone? I wonder how accurate this is. But yeah, I ran the numbers. Bruh. Just Yu-Gi-Oh makes a lot, yeah. Foy LaCroix, thank you for 2 months. Welcome back. Shadowverse doing better than Hearthstone. WWE Supercard battle cards about to take over Hearthstone.
Monetization. Investment returned in the first 3 months after the release. Now the game brings profit to its creators and investors. Based on the visual style of the game, I don't think that most of the profits will go to the development and support. I don't believe Marvel Snap will go down in gaming history, but this game will definitely be a trend maker.
Only one conclusion can be drawn. Ben Brode's approach is vastly better than Blizzard's, as Hearthstone's little brother makes significantly more money. And only this factor is the most important in the modern game industry.
While friendly Gwent is dying and Hearthstone is losing profits, Ben and the team have created a greedy, arrogant but very talented monster that has every chance of living a very long life. I am sure that this is the dream of most big studios, but they are not so confident in their games to integrate such manipulative systems.
Only one thing upsets us. We did not expect that the best developers who created Hearthstone left Blizzard to create an ingenious but very greedy mobile game that will intentionally mislead players.
I have always been a great fan of Ben Brode, and did not expect that behind the mask of a friendly genius developer was hiding a very cynical and brilliant businessman who surpasses Bobby Kotick in greed.
Watch out, Blizzard, you've given birth to the devil.
Finally, we can't wait to hear your opinion. What do you think of Hearthstone's little brother?
Do you think Ben Brode's methods are fair?
Do you think Ben is guilty of the fact that he created a too attractive product for which players are ready to pay a lot of money? Are you ready to turn a blind eye to manipulative and unfair monetization in a free-to-play game with interesting and unique gameplay? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the voting on our community tab.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for spending this time with us. We really hope that we will have the opportunity to get in touch in the next video.
Take care of yourself.
And never give up.
Never give up. Dude, that was so biased. That was so biased.
Disgusting!
This is so biased, dude. I don't know why.
Disgusting!
You know what I have noticed, though? It's not within Snap. I feel like from Hearthstone, a lot of the audience there is just very... There's heavy tribalism, that Hearthstone's the best. Maybe Specimen. How's Gwent? I feel like Gwent's probably also very tribalist. I feel like Snap people are open to trying new things, you know? They're just having fun. And Hearthstone people are mostly sour and upset. And I think there's a sunk cost fallacy. It's like a abusive relationship or a toxic relationship. I don't know. Sometimes I pop in by streams of people playing Hearthstone. And it's depressing, I feel like. Why are people attacking Ben Brode? Because he makes successful card games.
Disgusting!
I'm not sure they're 100% actors. This is the video. This is a great channel. Hearthstone Mathematics. I really like it. I know it says I'm not subscribed, but that's because I'm on my my other account. A lot of people just write off Snap because they don't want to try it. A lot of people do try it, and they just feel like Hearthstone has more depth, which is fair. I think there is still more depth in Hearthstone, right? And like MTG and other games like that. But I think it's just because it's early days still. I think there's a lot more depth to Snap than people realize, I think is the thing. And it kind of comes when you start getting more cards, which you don't see in the beginning. In the beginning, you're just playing a Kazoo deck. Gwent is very anti any game. It's hard to switch games. People in Hearthstone want to switch games. They want to try playing Snap. And then their Hearthstone audience attacks them. They're like, why are you playing this game? This game sucks. Ben Brode is the devil. It's sad. I hope the Snap community doesn't eventually become like that too. What if another game comes out? But if a DC card game came out, I feel like we'd all enjoy dabbling, right? DC Pop, DC Slap, DC Clap, the DC Clap. Would you guys hate on the DC Clap? I feel like you guys wouldn't be too mean to me if I tried it out. You guys wouldn't be like, this game sucks. Stop playing DC Slap. Go back to Marvel Snap, right? You guys would be fine. DC Crap? Whoa, come on. It's already begun. It'd be cool. It'd be fun. I don't think they would have the pockets that Snap has. I think Snap is going to live a lot longer than people realize. I think Snap's got a lot coming. I think Snap's going to be great. And I think Hearthstone is going to pull a Heroes of the Storm soon. They already pulled the plug on competitive. China pulled the plug on their servers, right? Which was a lot of their monetization. So they're going to have to start doing downsizing on their team. I love the devs over there. They're great. But I feel like the game has run its course. I think Hearthstone's fine, but it's having a bad year. You're coping, Collins. I think the problem with Hearthstone is even if it becomes good, it's so hard to get back into it. It's so hard to get back into it. Even for me, I tried getting back into Hearthstone. I'm actually up to date on Hearthstone. I think I have all the cards. If 2 expansions come out and I miss them, then it's incredibly difficult to get back into. It's a huge investment. At that point, it's like $500 or something if you want to play. I think they need to go on like a monthly subscription sort of thing, which I think they even asked about, and people got mad. They're like, why are you going to do monthly subscription? I don't want to pay $10 a month. I want to pay $100 every 3 months or something like that. I was like, all right, well, you just can't please them.